My goodness, what a spectacular, spectacular, heartwarming welcome and appreciation for a program that I am only one person who has been so involved. First of all, Liz and Rich, you have done a spectacular job for this evening. Thank you so much. And the speakers who have come before, my God, Joe Reamer, you spoke so magnificently, and of course Sharon, always straight from the heart. President Lawrence, you are articulate and a great asset to this community. You know, it's interesting, you mentioned we were so fortunate to have lunch together today, and it was really special for me. And you mentioned that you might have had a calling from God to be a rabbi, but I'm so glad that Justice Brandeis's voice was louder. Tonight is particularly special because I'm wearing a dress from my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law, Evelyn Lauder, passed at a very young age, only 75, just a few months ago. Evelyn was a Holocaust survivor and someone who was deeply, deeply passionate about Jewish life. And she had a son who I adore, who happened to marry a girl who was also passionate about Jewish life. So she and I had this bond together. And sadly, when she passed, my wonderful father-in-law gave me a few things of hers. So tonight, I'm not only wearing her dress, but also her hose and her shoes and everything but the underwear. And so I think about Evie, and I say, Evie, thank you for helping me, giving me the responsibility and the passion for Jewish life, for being a role model to me, and for being there for everything that I've been involved in. So I just wanted to say that so that you could know how I got these great threads. It was 2001, barely a year after we had finished doing all of the planning, that we put the word out. Is anyone interested in a day school leadership program where you could become a professional educator in the day school world? And because of the credibility, the creds of Sharon Feinman-Nemzer and Sarah Lee and Michael Zeldin at HUC, we had an overwhelming response. No background in Jewish education required, just a passion and a love and a determination to teach. And we had an overwhelming response. I want to read to you a few of the letters that came across my desk about why people applied to DeLeT when it was just a dream in a few of our thoughts. I left my own Jewish day school experience. When I'm on break from college, I substitute teach and help out now in the school where I grew up. I think DeLeT is exactly what I'm looking for to get started on a strong day school teaching career. I'm not an education major now, but I think I'll change because this is the direction I want to take for the future. This fellowship could change my life. I have been blessed with a lot of success in my business. I'm a lawyer and have an MBA. My children are in day school. I've been wanting to work in the school, and this might just be a way to do it. It's a scary thought to change careers at this age, but if I'm well trained and I trust myself to help build our Jewish leaders tomorrow, I could help out my own children. I graduated last May with a degree in biology, and now I'm spending a year studying in Israel. I never put the two together, but now I'm thinking that DeLeT is a way that I can combine my passions and teach science in a Jewish middle school. I'm doing a joint program in biblical studies and urban studies. I have lately realized that my heart is taking me towards a career in the Jewish community and not in urban planning as I originally thought. I've been teaching in a religious school for several years, and every time I walk into the classroom with my students, I finally feel at home. It's where my heart is. So when I heard about DeLeT, I knew it would be just for me. Those are 4 people who started in the DeLeT program 10 years ago and are still teaching in day schools today, 11 years later. Why did we start this program? What inspired it? 4 different reasons. Some of them were personal to me, some of them were inspirational from the likes of Rick Marker and Marilyn Goldsmith and Josh Elkin and Judy Elkin, who's also here and helped with DeLeT here, and Brandeis, and of course, from Sharon. First, my own children were at day school. They were at the Indian Hausner Jewish Day School in Palo Alto, California, one of the most assimilated places in the country, 75% assimilation rate, intermarriage. And I did not realize that having 2 teachers in every classroom wasn't the norm. They had 2 general studies teachers. Why? One was a master teacher, and another was an inductee, a trainee, an intern, not an intern, an assistant teacher who had the potential to become a master teacher. They picked those students wisely, and they put them through their own training program. I didn't know how unique that was, and that spoke to me. We needed to do that across day schools across America in order to be sure that day schools would become mainstream for American Jewish children. Peach was building great schools. Josh, thanks to you, building schools across the country. And yet there were no new inroads of new excellent day school teachers to fill all these fabulous schools that Peach was helping to create. I also felt passionate about the integration of curriculum because I wanted children to feel very passionate about their American identity, their Jewish identity, and how these values merged together so that they understood that this common identity was a part of their identity. And finally, my Wexner experience. How many of you have heard of the Wexner program? Okay, so most of you. So this is a fellowship for Jewish adults to learn in a 2-year program a very, very, very deep understanding of Judaism. Highly selective, prestigious, and frankly, highly desirable as a result. That's what I thought would be able to help us retain and recruit some of the best and brightest young Jews to come to teaching in Jewish day schools. You know, Teach for America gets 10% of Ivy League grads to apply, and there's someone mentioned to me that almost 20% of TFA's students are Jewish. That tells you something. That tells you that Jews want to give back, that they live Tikkun Olam, that it's important to them, that the values of what is right on the Brandeis insignia, the emet, the truth of life, the meaningfulness of life, is so important to them. So I wanted to make sure that we incorporated that opportunity for young Jewish students to potentially come to this program. Well, that just leads us right back to Sharon Kaufman-Nemser, because at the end of the day, if you're going to create a program in Jewish teaching and in education, there's only one expert in the country that knew exactly how to make sure that it could be created with the best and the brightest and the best research ever. And so, since I'm an education junkie and I am an excellence junkie, Sharon, you were right up my alley. She didn't mention to you that she and my father, back in Canton, Ohio, used to have a thing on the tennis court. I think Sharon actually was the ball girl for my dad whenever he was playing tennis, which was a boon. But was really much more important to me was that it was Sharon's parents, Sharon's mom, who was the director of the religious school, where I went to religious school at Temple Israel. And so your mom was a great inspiration to me, even back then. How lucky for me to work with 2 generations of Nemsers. So, the secret sauce of teaching is working with Sharon and with Michael and Sarah and HUC and creating a program based on mentorship. Because when you have a great mentor, like I have with Sharon, then you can create the passion and dedication of a cadre of young teacher leaders. I have so many people to thank for the creation of DeLeT. Sharon, of course, you're top of the list. Josh, you're right up there with us. You helped us right from the very beginning. Rick and Mirla, you were so special and so helpful in so many ways. With our advisory council and Mirla, you actually created the original plan. So there are so many people here. And Judy, of course, you were one of the original people who helped us run DeLeT here at Brandeis. There are so many people here who I have to thank. And I also wanted to say thank you to those of you who've come who know nothing about Jewish day schools. There are several friends of mine who are here. It's so special to share this proud moment with all of you. Last but not least, of course, President Lawrence, you have created an environment here and will continue to carry on a great, great legacy of creating Jewish leaders. I'm so inspired by your work, what you stand for, and what you will create in the future. You know, proud young Jewish students can become great leaders, and that's the only way that each of us will do our part in ensuring the Jewish future. Thank you very much.